Raymond spent his entire childhood and youth in an orphanage. For some reason, all the kids wanted parents, but Raymond didn't. Why would he want them? They weren't his family anyway. He liked being around people he knew better. The boy especially liked the nannies, kind and affectionate. But for some reason, all of them were no longer young. The teachers, so smart and strict. The director, everyone was afraid of him. She never raised her voice to children, never scolded them, but that did not make her any less formidable. Of course, when Raymond grew up, he too began to dream of a large and friendly family. Raymond was sure that he would succeed. As a child, Raymond got into the kitchen. They had a cook, Sharon, and several of her helpers. Raymond was on duty that day and offered to help, at least to wash the dishes. Sharon was surprised. "Why are you like this? Everyone runs away, hides, just to not help in the kitchen. And you yourself offer your help?" "Well, I like the kitchen. Everything sizzles, bubbles, smells different. I'd like to learn how to cook, too, and soup and porridge and bake beautiful buns and cakes. That'd be so great." Raymond sighed and went to wash the dishes. And 2 days later, he met up with Sharon again. "Raymond, I'm going to be late after dinner tonight. It's my daughter's birthday. I have to bake a cake. There's a good oven here, so I'm bringing groceries. Maybe you could help me? I don't think I can do it alone." "Of course I will. Will they let me go?" "I'll talk and they'll let you go." That night, Raymond made the cake for the first time. Of course, Sharon did everything, but Raymond helped. He mixed, he poured, he decorated. When the cake was ready, Raymond almost cried at how beautiful it was. The woman cut him a piece. "May I?" asked Raymond. "Of course you can. Now you and I are going to eat, and if it's good, you can take the rest to the boys." "Well, how about that and your daughter? Will she be left without cake?" "I don't have a daughter, Raymond." Sharon smiled sadly. "I was afraid you might refuse to help me." "Come on, I'm always willing to help. I love this so much." Since then, Raymond has been a frequent guest in the kitchen. Soon he was already helping Sharon as a pastry chef. He always said, "When I'm an adult, I'm going to open my own bakery. I'll have the tastiest buns in town, the best cakes." Sharon laughed and asked, "Will you at least give me a treat?" "Of course, you'll be my most honored guest." Soon, Raymond could cook everything that Sharon did. But that wasn't enough for him either. Then he began to offer his options. Sharon was only surprised. Sometimes the combinations were quite strange, but they turned out very tasty. And then Sharon would say, "You have a real talent." Raymond promised to go to school. After the orphanage closed its doors behind him, Raymond went to another city. He went to university and almost immediately became a top student. Raymond was sure he would do well. And then he met Donna. By chance, just like in the movies. Raymond was on his way back from class at the university. Today, by invitation, he visited a very famous pastry shop. The guy was thrilled. There were modern appliances and a snow-white kitchen. Everything so beautiful, everything so sparkling clean. Not only did he learn a lot himself, but he tried out his signature cake recipe on the customers. The owner of the pastry shop was shocked and immediately offered Raymond the job of pastry chef. Of course, he immediately accepted, especially since the owner promised a decent salary. In his hands, he carried a box of cakes. Raymond noticed this girl immediately. There was still some ice on the street after the frost. The girl was in a hurry and, to her surprise, she couldn't keep her balance on the ice and fell. "Girl, where are you going in such a hurry? You should be more careful." She only laughed resoundingly. While Raymond was picking up the words, the girl was already across the street. He caught up with her, held out a box. "Try this." "What's in it?" "Well, if you don't open it, you won't know." The girl cautiously opened the box. "Oh, brownies!" Cautiously, she took a bite of one. "How delicious. Where did you buy these? I want some too." "There aren't any more." "Oh, too bad. My mom would have loved them." They didn't talk much that day, but they didn't want to split up at all. They agreed that they would meet in the same place tomorrow. Raymond himself didn't think there were girls like Donna. She was beautiful in every way and had a complicated character at that. A month later, Raymond met her mother, a nice, kind woman, but she hardly ever got out of bed as she was seriously ill. 6 months later, they decided to get married. Donna persuaded Raymond to move in with her. Raymond thought that his studies were over, an exam was coming up, that he was getting a full-time job in that very famous pastry shop, so why not say yes? They're getting married in a month anyway. After Raymond moved in with Donna, he was invited to see the director of the candy store. "Raymond, I know you dream of starting your own business. There's a young pastry chef contest in 2 weeks. The winner will get $10,000. Don't you just want to give it a try? You have every chance." Of course he immediately said yes, only how to explain to the girl that the wedding would have to be postponed? She must understand what a chance it is for both of them. If they have the money to start a business, their quality of life will change dramatically for the better. "You want us to live well, don't you? That we have enough to live on, that the children don't need anything?" "Of course I do. Why do you ask that?" "I've been asked to enter a contest. If I can win it, I can open my own bakery and pastry store. But the contest is in 2 weeks and will last at least a month. We'll have to postpone the wedding. As soon as I get back, we'll get married right away." "As soon as you get back? So you've already made up your mind without me?" "That's right, I'm a complete stranger to you." "Oh, no, don't talk nonsense. I love you." "I don't want that kind of love. I want real love." "Donna, that's it. I don't want to hear any more, and I don't want to see you ever again either. Go away, wherever you want." Raymond expected the bride's temper to keep her quiet, but he didn't think the girl would be so adamant. Raymond decided not to argue. How much to prove? She would come back, she would calm down, and they would talk adequately. He gathered his things in silence. Donna did not say another word. He stopped beside her, but the girl turned away at once, and Raymond went outside. The competition was difficult. The opponents are strong. Raymond was confused at first, but then he came to his senses again. He had to win. Otherwise, what was the point of it all? And he did. The boy rushed to his beloved. Raymond wanted to take her and her future mother-in-law to another city. He was sure they would reconcile. Raymond bought flowers, got in a cab. Here, now, very soon, he would embrace his Donna. "Are you sure this way?" the cab driver asked. Raymond looked up and froze. "What is it?" He silently gave the driver the money and got out of the car. Her house was gone. In its place lay some wreckage. Where was Donna? Where was her mother? Something had to be done. He looked around and remembered the neighbors. "Tell me, what happened here? Where's Donna? Where's her mom?" "Oh, you're her fiancé. Where were you before?" What a grief. Donna's mother burned. "Where's Donna now? Do you know?" "No, I don't know. It was over 2 weeks ago. Someone said she left town right after the funeral. I think she said she was gone for good." Raymond went to see Donna at work. She had quit her job. He found her friends, but no one was able to explain anything to him. One of the friends said, "You don't look for her. She's really mad at you." Raymond understood everything himself. He left for his hometown to become a famous confectioner. He had a lot of plans, but he was in a terrible mood. Raymond was sure that as soon as he had some free time, he would find Donna, just to make sure she was all right. Raymond got right down to business. He didn't want to have any energy left to think about Donna. He found a room, converted it into a candy store. He worked along with his workers, often staying in his future bakery until almost morning. He tracked down Sharon, who was already retired. In the past, she had been a real beauty, but now she was a beautiful old woman. Raymond came to talk to her and ask her permission. "Well, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have made it." "No, your talent would have been noticed anyway. You see, some things can be taught and some things are given by nature." "Sharon, I'd like to call my bakery Aunt Sharon's and use your image on the sign. Will you let me?" Sharon burst into tears. "Thank you for remembering. Thank you, of course. Do as you see fit." Raymond opened his own bakery a month later. The very first guest was Sharon herself. "Everything is so beautiful, so shiny. Lots of refrigerated cabinets with clear glass windows, donuts, cakes, buns, pastries, and most importantly, bread. Not the kind you get in a regular store, but something completely different, like from a home oven." Raymond's bakery became really popular even outside the city. Many people asked to send their products by car, but Raymond firmly decided that now quality, not quantity, is more important to him. Business was going very well. Within 5 years, Raymond had as many as 4 bakeries in the city, and another 7 in different cities. Often he would go to work in one or the other bakery. That way he could see if everything was at a decent level. Today, he arrived at the very first bakery, the one where he began his journey. No matter how he went about it, he loved it best. To this day, it was the most visited and the most profitable. Yesterday, he got a call from the baker and a friend. Said he had a fever, asked to find a replacement for a few days. Raymond replied that if the head baker would let him do the work himself. They laughed. The man wished his friend a speedy recovery and later went to the bakery. 3 other guys and a sales girl worked with Raymond. When he had a free moment, Raymond went out into the hall. He liked to watch people walk in and immediately start smiling. Once again the bell rang. Raymond saw the girl. She was very thin. She looked at the sales girl and Raymond. She looked at the sales girl and at Raymond. Apparently deciding that Raymond was in charge, she headed toward him. "Excuse me, could you give me 1 bun or some bread? I'm not a beggar. It's just that right now, there's nothing to eat right now." The girl looked at him with eyes full of tears. She looked about 5 or 6 years old. Raymond was a little confused, but then he put a couple of muffins in the bag. Raymond handed the girl the bag, fully expecting her to eat it right away, but he was wrong. The girl sniffed the buns, even squinted. "Thank you very much." The girl headed for the exit. Raymond became very curious as to why the girl would not eat, so he followed her outside. He saw that she was hungry, but for some reason she didn't eat anything, so she was carrying it to someone, or she just didn't want to eat outside. Raymond saw the girl enter the entryway of an old house. There was no door on the entryway. He walked in after it. On the 2nd floor, the girl entered the apartment. Raymond went to the door. Could it be that her parents drink and make her beg for food? He pushed the door open. There was no smell of alcohol in here. Raymond took a step forward, completely unaware of what he was doing and why. "Mommy, please eat. The buns smell so good. Try one, at least a little bite." "Daughter, where did you get them? Did you steal them?" "Mom, what are you talking about? I asked my uncle. He's nice. He didn't swear." The woman's voice was very weak. Raymond even felt that she was in great pain. He couldn't hide anymore, stepping into the room. "Hello?" The girl jumped up, frightened, covering her mother. "What do you want?" Then she recognized Raymond. The girl thought he had changed his mind and had come to pick up the buns, and immediately handed him the package. "What's wrong with your mom? Why isn't she in the hospital?" "Mom's papers were stolen, and they won't take her anywhere. First they wouldn't take her to work, and then Mom got sick, and they won't take her to the hospital." A faint mother's voice was heard. "Gloria, you don't have to tell your uncle all the details. I'll get up now." Gloria. She and Donna dreamed of naming their daughter Gloria. Raymond saw how difficult it was for the woman to sit up. She held her 2 hands to her stomach. Then she raised her head. Raymond. The woman opened her eyes wide. Raymond took a step forward, then another. No, it couldn't be. It doesn't happen that way. The next moment he was on his knees in front of the woman, looking into her eyes and whispering, "Donna, my girl." Gloria was terrified. She pressed herself against her mother, about to cry. Donna turned to her. "Don't be afraid. I know this uncle. He's good." Raymond calmed down a little and sat down next to her. "We'll discuss it later, but what's wrong with you?" "I don't know. It was a little sore until a month ago, and then it gets worse. The doctors refuse to come as soon as they find out I'm undocumented." You can tell me all about it later. Get ready. Can you walk to the car?" Donna shrugged. "I guess so." Raymond rushed out of the apartment while dialing the number of the pay clinic. After talking briefly on the phone, he ran into the candy store, took his bag, his car keys. "I won't be in today." He entered the apartment again. Gloria held out a bag to him. "Here's Mom's things. Please help her." Donna said she couldn't leave. How would she leave her daughter? "She'll stay with me for now. Sharon will help with everything." Donna tried to smile. "The one?" "The one. Come on, let's go." He took her under his arm, but the girl fell in pain. Then Raymond picked her up in his arms and said, "Gloria, close the house. We're waiting for you in the car." The girl nodded. Raymond carried Donna and looked at her. She was the same, unchanged, only tired. He found her. He could see that the girl was not well at all, and for a moment he had the thought, "I found her, only to lose her." He got behind the wheel and pressed the gas pedal to the floor. Raymond was driving at the speed limit. He held his phone to his ear, asking someone to meet them. As they pulled into the courtyard of the private hospital, a police car pulled up behind them. Raymond didn't think to stop. Only at the entrance to the emergency room, where a doctor and 2 stretcher bearers were waiting for him, did he stop. He jumped out of the car, opened the back door. Police officers ran up to him. Raymond carefully pulled the girl out. "Donna, please, just hold on a little longer. You're going to get help now." He looked the doctor in the eye. "You will help her, won't you?" The stretcher was hauled away. Gloria was crying, tucked into Raymond's shoulder. While I sat in the emergency room, the girl was being wheeled into surgery. The doctor was explaining something about ulcers and other diseases. But Raymond still didn't understand anything. He saw how tired Gloria was. Raymond called Sharon and explained the situation. "Raymond, I'll be right over to take the girl to my place. Don't you worry." Gloria didn't want to go at first, but Sharon convinced her that they wouldn't let her see her mother anyway, and that tomorrow Gloria had to be beautiful to please her mom, so they needed to rest. Finally, Gloria agreed and they left, and Raymond continued to sit. Only 3 hours later, the doctor came out to him, sitting down tiredly beside Raymond. "Well, I think we've done the impossible. Honestly, this is the first time I've seen such a neglected, I dare say horrible case. I can't understand how she's even alive." "Doctor, how is she?" "Well, she's very weak. It's too early to make a prognosis right now. We'll wait 24 hours. If your girl survives the 24 hours, then we'll talk further." Seeing Raymond's consternation, he added, "I think she'll make it. She's young. Now go home." "Doctor, I ask you to let me stay with her, please." "I take it it's useless to talk you out of it." "Absolutely." They went into a room of some kind. The doctor gave him a gown, shoe covers, and a cap. Then he escorted him to Donna's room. There was a nurse nearby. She looked questioningly at the doctor, who only shrugged. Raymond sat down next to the high bed. "I'll be next door, just outside the door. If you need anything, call me." Raymond nodded. He didn't take his eyes off Donna's face. How he missed her. He thought he had long since dealt with that pain when he realized he would never see her again. But as soon as he saw her, that pain was even worse. "Where have you been? What was happening to you?" The girl tried to open her eyes. She lifted her hand slightly and ran it through his hair. Raymond immediately came to his senses. Donna. Raymond. He jumped up, ran away. Returned almost immediately with a doctor. Well, beautiful, well done. Donna smiled weakly. The doctor took her blood pressure, dictated to the nurse the test to be taken now. You know, you're doing a great job. Way to go. You'll be going home soon. If it hurts too much, tell the nurse and she'll give you a shot. The doctor left and Raymond and Donna were alone. How are you feeling? Can you talk? Yes. How did you end up in this apartment, in this town, and in this condition? When my mother died, I went to look for you. I found the place where the contest was held, but they wouldn't let me in. I waited 3 days for you, but then I got sick. They took me by ambulance right from the building where you were competing. For 2 weeks I was in the hospital. No one came. No one came to see me. I hated you then. And then I got discharged and I went back to that building. The pageant was over and you were gone. I was in that town for another week. And then I found out I was pregnant. Gloria's my daughter? Did you think I found a replacement for you right away? No. There was no money at first. Neighbors and friends helped me. But who wants to help all the time? When Gloria was 3 years old, I went to work, and then I found out I had an ulcer, which was growing and giving me a lot of trouble. I couldn't get treatment, I didn't have any money, and I had no one to leave Gloria with. When it got really bad, I sold your ring and went to your city, hoping to find you, but my passport was stolen. At least I had time to rent an apartment. I worked as a janitor when I could get up to pay the rent, but a week ago I got really sick. That's the story. Raymond looked at her, tears streaming down her cheeks. Damn that contest. If it wasn't for it, things would have been different. Donna, forgive me if you can, Raymond, don't blame yourself. I was the one who misbehaved. So we're both to blame. What about you? Wife? Kids? Honey, what are you talking about? Did you really think I could love any woman the way I loved you? There wasn't anyone else. She smiled. And when do we tell Gloria? The man asked. Are you sure you want to? Replied Donna. Raymond picked up the phone. Sharon, how's Gloria? Does she want to go to her mother's? Yes, come over. We're waiting for you. An hour later they arrived. Raymond kept trying to find the words, but Donna, seeing his agony, said, Meet your daddy, honey. Daddy? He'll save you? Yes, Daddy. He'll save everybody. Gloria walked over to Raymond, stood for a while, and then hugged him and said, Thank you. Girls, it's time for everyone to go home. Mommy needs to rest. He picked Gloria up in his arms. And you and I, while Mom is here, need to get everything ready for the wedding. Gloria clapped her hands together. Donna had tears running down her cheek. That was it. The end of their torment. Raymond is with her again. He would make everything right.